gentlemen, good morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is you're watching this show. It's Just Plain Living, and I'm John Gray. And this morning, Peggy is out with some guests, and we have a young lady we want to introduce to you now, and that's Delana White.
Good morning.
And Delana is from Manchester, Tennessee. Manchester? Where you living?
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. And she's going to be working with us in the future, starting right now, as a sales representative for Channel 6. And just no telling what Delana might get into with us, because she's a talented young lady. If you can remember her from karaoke telethon days years ago.
Let me think. Delana had a classic song I think we liked a lot. Was it Men?
That would be
Men,
it, Mr.
yeah,
Fuller.
okay.
It was Men, and I Feel Lucky was Mr. Gray's favorite.
I Feel Lucky.
Yeah.
And every now and then she'd do The Windshield and the Bug, too,
Yes.
wouldn't you?
Little Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Yeah.
So, and a good singer, good entertainer. And speaking about singers and entertainers, there's Jim Fuller right there.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's really my
Telehomeless
pleasure
Frank
to be,
Sinatra.
to be working with this distinguished crew up here today.
And we have some more singers in the crowd out here today. We have Jamie Harden and my man Fuzz.
Fuzz. And what was that?
I think that's Jerry
Hotline.
Harris. Somebody's chirping in.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody's chirping in. And the Ultimate Oldies are going to be at South Jackson, not this weekend, but next weekend, for 3 days of great fun and great music. And, I call him Fuzz. It's Cliff Roberts out there. I mean, but everybody knows him as Fuzz.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of that beautiful long blonde hair. Well, it used to be blonde. I think it's got a little bit of gray in it.
I think it's turning a little gray now.
He is the ultimate oldie, right?
And that's what happens to you when you're in the music business and you do that kind of stuff. It has a tendency to turn your hair gray.
And get you deaf.
Yeah, deaf. Speaking of being deaf, and honestly, this really does happen to you. John and I can't hear anything because all the years of rock and roll music we were listening to.
And well, at me, it's power tools as well. So between the whine of a motor and the whine of a singer and a steel guitar.
I came home the other night and somebody had turned the closed caption on one of my televisions at the house, and asked me could I cut it off. Of course, things are too complicated. I work in television, but I picked up the remote. It's about 3 days ago, and I still hadn't figured exactly how to cut the thing off. But as time has went by over the last few days, I've thought, this ain't all that bad. This
I can tell what they're saying.
Pretty good.
Actually understand a TV show for once.
Puts a whole new light on television.
Exactly. So, I might just leave it there.
Did you ever even consider finding the book that came with that and looking at it for it to tell you how to do that?
Men don't do that kind of stuff. It's like that would have to be an absolute emergency last resort kind of deal.
3 days down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
You got 2 more days. 5 days. If it's 5 days,
It doesn't
you figure it
help.
out.
Have you seen one of those books?
And
all the buttons on the remote control that's big?
You're right.
Just punch them and wait till something works.
Yeah, because there's all these menus and sub-menus and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and plus, if you pick the book up the wrong way, it's in French.
Right.
Or Spanish.
Right.
Or something else.
Speaking of which, I've got this new cell phone. And I've had it about 2 weeks. I've had it about 2 weeks, and it's way more cell phone than I really need. I just want to be able to text somebody or call them. I don't need all that other stuff, but I got it anyway. But
you use the internet on yours some, don't you?
Some, yeah, some. If we're out filming or something, it's nice to check the weather if it's questionable. But I was walking out of the bank a couple of days ago, and it started going off doing all these strange things. And when I got back to the office, somebody called me, and I looked at it, and I needed it to text somebody, and I realized that my phone had switched from English to German.
Oh, no.
All on its own.
I don't know how that happened.
All on its own.
I reckon, yeah.
They have a mind. I think a lot of that stuff has a mind of its own. They program that in there just to mess with you.
I believe you're right.
So let's get old Fuller. But somebody's over there going, where's Fuller? Let's get him. Let's send this to him in German. See what he does.
Somebody at Verizon is bored.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fortunately, I'd had it a couple of weeks because I sort of remembered where everything was, and I couldn't read the words, but I knew that
There's a button somewhere.
That's where the button used to be to push to do this, that, or the other. So I got by until somebody that actually knew something showed up to fix it for me. So anyway,
Things are horrible in Oklahoma.
they are big time.
They have just been hit yesterday afternoon, last night with a massive tornado that was
That's one of the worst I've seen.
It is
I think-
as
destruction
well.
2 miles wide, and just a lot of people hurt, dead, torn up. It's coming toward Tennessee.
You know, that's
that
happened.
storm is.
It is. I think we're mainly going to get rain out of it. But that's I think the third time that particular area has
I'd be
encountered
moving.
that. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
or living in a hole.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of them, and I saw on the news where they said, if you can't get underground, leave.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, after the one that they had, I believe in '99 or 2009 or whenever it was, a lot of people had to put in shelters,
Yeah.
underground shelters, but not enough. I think they said it's only about 10%
Right.
could do that or could afford to do that
Sure.
or thought, oh, well, this isn't going to happen again.
Would be a scary thing.
Yeah, it would have to be. And we just send our best wishes out to all those people there. And I found out the other day that our good friend Ben Jordan's sick, and he's real sick, and we need to keep him in our thoughts and in our prayers. And LBJ's been a stalwart in this town
Absolutely.
for years and years and years. I mean, the voice and in the radio business, and has been such a wonderful person to deal with high school sports. He drives the bus and hauls those kids all over everywhere, and just an all-around great guy. So you keep Ben's in your thoughts because he needs your prayers and your well wishes.
Absolutely.
He and his
My
family.
first venture into media was in the radio. Ben's family owned a radio station,
Right.
and Ben's used to let me read the news. I guess we were in high school,
Yeah.
at the time, which I thought was the neatest thing at that point. Caesar.
Who was the other one that read the news over there? Was it Clyde Swinford?
Maybe, yeah.
Clyde Swinford read the news, and old Clyde, I heard one time that those kids up at Swanee would listen because they thought his deal was a performance. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just Clyde.
Yeah.
And they thought it was somebody purposely making mistakes, grammar mistakes and such as that. But and his accent and everything, they thought it was a character. Mm-hmm. And Clyde was a character.
He was a character.
and
that's
did a good job.
That's always such an awakening for you when you hear yourself and you've never done it. You don't hear yourself
Right.
much because you don't realize, or I didn't at the time, how country I sounded.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, we all do, but we all listen to each other, so it sounds normal.
It sounds
Sounds
normal to
normal,
us.
yeah.
Until you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's a really, Andrew over there behind the camera, Andrew has a great radio voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to strip all that accent, and the people who are really good at it, who make it on up the line, their voices are, you just don't really
It's just a
find
voice.
an accent there.
They're flat.
Yeah,
No tone or no accent.
right. So
It's crazy.
it's it's a different thing to hear yourself and how slow we talk.
Exactly.
Then you listen to somebody from up north, from New York or something, and you're going, but I didn't get all that.
Someone from another country,
Yeah.
and you love to hear them talking, and they tell you, "Oh, I love your voice."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
like
a buddy.
everything.
I had a buddy who's passed away, Brooke Thornton, who used to be a good friend of mine, and he was a big athlete, and he rode his bicycle in the 200th anniversary of the United States from East Coast to West Coast.
Wow.
There was a bunch of them doing that. That was a thing that was done. And he said after he got out of Tennessee and I got out west, he said all he'd have to do is go in somewhere and talk, and they'd say, "Hey, Tennessee, come over and talk for us." You need a beer, need a drink, want a hamburger. He said, I never had to pay for anything. All he had to do was just talk. Of course, he was a good-looking guy, too. I imagine that had something to do with it.
Probably did.
Probably didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, probably did. John wrote a song. I rode my bicycle one night from my house to a friend's house for reasons. Let me say, I don't know how you'd say that. That was back when I was playing guitar.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, we've all got in
I couldn't
trouble.
drive when I was playing guitar. And I remember telling John about the story because this dog got after me on my way over there. When I was coming back, the dog got after me again. But I had enough at that point. So when the dog started coming after me, I threw the bicycle down, jumped off, and went after the dog. Scared him to death. But John wrote a song about that.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't even
remember
remember it either. But I had to endure that for a number of years. Had sort of wished I hadn't told him that story. But, by the way, it has nothing to do with that. But you remember a couple of years ago, maybe last year, I guess, at the University of Alabama won the national championship. Again. And it wasn't this past year. But anyway, you get this big trophy, and it's at Waterford Crystal.
Right.
And somebody's doing a tour down there of the athletic facilities, knocked it off and broke it. And by accident. And they replaced it. And it cost about $30,000 to replace it, but kept the old broken pieces.
Are they selling that?
They sold it at auction a couple of days ago. Auctioned it off
To a fan?
to a fan, and it brought $105,000. And
For broken pieces of glass?
That was the national championship trophy from Alabama, and like I say, it was worth about 30.
Yeah, they could have just had a new one.
Could have
made.
saved 75 and bought a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable what football fans will do.
All right, they're telling us it's time to go right now. We're going to take you to a quick commercial break. We have a great show for you today, so don't go away. No telling what we might get into. We'll be right back.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International. You're welcome.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Dr. Dave Heinrich with, let's see, I think it's called Heinrich Chiropractic now, is it not?
As far as the law goes, I suppose, but we're still running under Lawson Holistic Chiropractic.
Okay.
And we just partnered up with Harvey's Gym in town here.
Yeah.
And they have a promotion starting in August. And so it looks like we'll be sticking with the name for a little bit. But don't be alarmed when the day comes. It'll still all be the same.
Exactly. So you can find him at Lawson's Holistic Chiropractic Clinic on Maple Hill Drive in Tullahoma. And you remember that as we're talking here because you're probably going to need his services at some times. And that phone number that you see there is the number of the clinic. So you've got some, as you've always done, I know since you've been here in Tullahoma, you're always doing something else for the community community, partnering up with somebody, and you got some of those deals going now, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I try to, as accepting as the community's been to me, I like to, you know, make sure that we do what we can to help the people around us. We recently got involved with a company called Partners for Healing. They do free health care for people that don't have insurance, working families that don't have insurance. And I think they do it in a few counties. It's Coffee, Franklin, and Moore County, I believe. And so, you know, you think about those people that they're working, but they don't have enough to support, you know, their children or anything like that. And the health care prices, when you add children and a spouse and all that, they just go through the roof. And you know, with insurance, it always costs more and they pay for less. So it's kind of, you know, a wash in that sense. So this gives them an opportunity. You know, they're always talking about maintenance care and preventative care, but how are you going to do that if you don't have insurance? Like, why would you just go throw money away? They have a long list of providers, all different kind of specialties. They can get in there and get the care that they need and make sure that nothing serious is going on. However, it's only possible through donations and sponsorship, and so that's why we kind of stepped up and we want to do what we can for them. New patients will get an incentive, of course, with the $35 donation. Their first visit is $50. And then for current patients, we're going to give them adjustments for $20 with this same donation. So, so everybody gets a little something, and we get to help out the community as well.
Okay, and so when you come to your clinic, then they'll be able to have the satisfaction knowing that you're going to make them feel better, and in addition, they're going to be helping a very worthwhile cause here. Partners for Healing is a great organization, by the way, and just opened a new facility, I think, in Manchester, Tennessee, for our other friends in Coffee County. So it's a great thing, and as Dr. Heinrich mentioned, there's so many people that are working and doing all they can, but they just cannot afford
it's unfortunate
the health care. So
the way that the prices have gotten these days, that you can't get the care that you need. And there's really no reason for that. And that's why I'm so proud of Partners for Healing for stepping up and providing the kind of health care that should be provided. I mean, it's not about the money, it's about the people. And I think that got lost somewhere in the wash. So.
You know, and I've observed over the years, because you know, I'm pretty old, and we you know, have been around chiropractic care for a long time through chiropractors who have worked with us here on the show, and a lot of times being able to go to that chiropractor, you can either help them or point them in the right direction if it's something that you don't do, and they might not even be able to access that if it weren't for that. So
exactly. I mean, we can tell them all day, oh, I think you need to go get an MRI, but I don't know if you've priced that out recently, but it's outrageous. So the odds of you getting it aren't, you know, I mean, it's in the thousands of dollars, and even if the ones that pay cash, I think it's still somewhere around $1,200. And so, I mean, for somebody that's struggling to begin with, that's a real hard pill to swallow. But you know, thanks to Partners for Healing, they're able to find ways and generous practitioners that are able to help them make it happen. I couldn't be happier for them.
Hey, you also mentioned you're going to be doing something, I think, in Lynchburg.
In Lynchburg, we're going to be doing Frontier Days in June. We weren't able to make the Spring in the Hollow because of some inclement weather, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for good weather in June. But it should be a good old time. I guess there's a lot of people that go through that area, and it's just a nice little fun day. They got some mutton busting and things like that, which is all new to me, being from Colorado. I've never seen that
You're
before.
really going to enjoy this, I guarantee you. And I think Woody Bedford with the Chamber of Commerce is going to be on this show probably next week and talking about that. But it is a big time, fun time. One of the things that I think you're going to enjoy is they stage this old-time Western gunfight out there in front of the courthouse, and it looks quite real.
Well, yeah, the city is gorgeous.
Yeah, and so you know, that's always a fun thing, and we always cover that. So we'll probably be seeing you.
Awesome. Well, look forward to that for sure.
So
definitely looking forward to that. You know, we'll have all kinds of, we're doing a raffle while we're out there. We're going to be giving away some prize baskets from some of the vendors around and things like that. And then we're going to have a grand prize, which we don't know what it is yet, but it'll be good, so don't worry.
And you could probably sign up for an appointment at your office while you're there.
Absolutely. We'll have a paper trail, you know, where we can get it done. Usually we just take some real easy information like a phone number and a name. And then we'll do the drawing, and if you win, we'll call you. You just come by the office, pick up your gift, and hopefully start some chiropractic care and do yourself a favor in the meantime, because it is summertime. A lot of people are getting out in the garden and bending down, and we've seen a lot of backspin going out for the last little bit. A lot of people not breathing correctly while they're doing activities with using the diaphragm to stabilize their low back. Those are all things that we do in the office to help kind of correct, which helps the adjustment hold better and their low back feel better for longer.
Now, the breathing thing I haven't heard about. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Basically the diaphragm is the strongest low back. You've heard of core muscles, right?
Right.
Everybody talks about you got to strengthen your core, strengthen your core. Well, the diaphragm is the largest core muscle in your body. And so the only way to strengthen the diaphragm is through proper breathing. And when you breathe, it goes down, and when you exhale, it goes up. And so when you breathe, you're supposed to get bigger in the belly like a barrel. So when you breathe in, you're supposed to get bigger. A lot of people breathe with their shoulders, which turns their neck muscles into shoulder muscles, and then they have neck pain and things like that. So by retraining the muscles to breathe properly, it takes a lot of stress off their shoulders, a lot of stress off their low back, and they feel a lot better. Real simple fix.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible.
I can't believe I've never heard that, but that is cool.
You'd be
You're
surprised
right.
what you forget from infancy to now, you know. But at one time you did it right, that's for sure.
Exactly. You know, but and that's just one of the things you can learn at Dr. Heinrich's clinic there. And you know, that's the kind of thing that, go ahead. Did you have
No,
I'm
sorry.
Okay.
I was just smacking my lips.
But that's just one of the many things that you can learn there, and chiropractic care is really good for just maintenance to make you feel good on a regular basis. I understand.
Yeah, we have a great portion of people that come in just once a month, whether they're hurting or not, just because they know they've been active and they like being active, so they feel better after the adjustment. And a lot of people couple it with the massage, which we offer in the office also. So if you're really trying to treat yourself right, that's the 1-2 punch. That's for sure. It's wonderful.
I forgot about that, but you guys have
We have a licensed massage therapist in the office. His name's Bill Ott. He does excellent work with lymphatic systems. You know, a lot of times people have allergies and their head just feels stuffy and they can't get it to drain and all that. He does some awesome techniques to get that working. People have tingling in their fingers and things like that, and he'll work in the shoulder muscles and the collarbone and help relieve that, which coupled with the adjustment calms down the muscles, and then it holds for longer. So, you know, a lot of times people complain about, oh, I got massaged and then, you know, it worked for about 3 days and then I started hurting again. And so what they were missing was the adjustment in there, and it could last a lot longer.
Right.
So,
okay. All right.
Always something to consider.
And you know, certainly would be worth your while to come in for an evaluation. Right now, as Dr. Heinrich mentioned, you can also help Partners for Healing.
Absolutely.
With that. Yep. Okay. So give him a call at 931. That number they took it away. There it is. 454-0544. That's Lawson's Holistic Chiropractic Clinic. Stop by and see Dr. Dave Heinrich down there, and he'll make you feel good. We can almost guarantee that.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
All right. Always great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Have you gotten married yet?
Oh, June 8th. Sorry, Katie. Yeah,
Okay.
We're getting married in Hillsborough on June 8th, and so I'll be a married man real soon. So this might all turn gray real quick, but
it probably will. But you know, we're certainly not going to discourage that kind of thing, because that's what brought you here to begin with. That's another story in itself. We talked about it before, but so next time we see you, you'll be a married man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you guys, everybody, for your support, and you know, God bless Oklahoma, and hopefully everybody turns out okay out that way. So
absolutely,
we'll be thinking about them.
All right, we'll be right back in just a moment with more to living right after these messages.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com, featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
family's favorite shows shouldn't have to fight to be seen. With Charter, you get 4 DVRs, so now every family member can watch what they want, when they want, where they want, without any battles. Call now to get DVR service for your home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm an oldie, but I'm with a couple of ultimate oldies over here, Jamie Harden and my man Fuzz, and they're getting ready to bring their ultimate oldie show to South Jackson.
That's right. Yep.
What? Tell us about it. Talk about it.
Well, we're looking forward to this one. This is the first time we've done a show in Tullahoma, so it's going to be a sort of a joint fundraiser for Community Playhouse, and we're looking forward to it. It's May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd. So 3 nights only. We usually do a couple weekends or 3, but we're going to just do one here.
Right.
And see how it goes, and hopefully we'll get to do it every year.
Well, now, how many years? I know you wrote this show, put this show together, as along with other things that you do at the MAC over in Manchester. Right. And how many years have you done this show?
This will be 4, won't it, Cliff?
Yeah, this will be
4 years. We've done this. This one is going to be a combination of our first 3 shows. All our shows are different.
It's the greatest hits.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Sort of like that. We've got almost 200 songs we can do right now, and we've got 40 more for the new show in Manchester in August. So we got a lot of.
Well, you know, there is a show done over in Fayetteville. That's an oldie show that they've been doing for years.
About 25 years.
And it's sort of like our country show that we've done for 30-something years. But I think they go maybe 3 weekends or something like that. And it is a great fundraiser for them. And this has become a great fundraiser over in Manchester, and hopefully it'll be successful.
It's helped out the Art Center in Manchester, and which in turn helps Millennium, and this one will help, you know, the arts here in Tullahoma. And of course, on the side, part of our proceeds go to, we have an outreach that we help feed people and give clothes and coats to every year.
Good.
And it's a big deal. This year we've got Convoy of Hope coming in with us, and they got like 5,000 bags of groceries and 2,000 shoes. So we help fund that, and that's a whole county thing too. So we have a lot of fun. People enjoy it, and we get to help people in the process. So it's a good deal for everybody all the way around.
Well, you know, it's wonderful when people like the two of you and all the people involved in Tullahoma and in Manchester as well, Fayetteville as well, you know, get involved in the arts and get involved in making stuff like this happen, because it enriches the community so much to have things like this to go to, and even if you don't participate in it, because what's your cast?
Well, now we're
about 25 right now.
Yeah, about 25. Yeah. Counting dancers, you don't have dancers, we have actors and live band, so.
Yeah, but that's
a big cast.
Yeah, that's 25 people who get to perform. Right. And you know, I wrote a thing one time called "Where the Sky's Big Enough for All the Stars," and it's a little thing I've got, and people don't realize, you know, a star used to last forever. You know, the George Joneses and the people like that. Now they just change the belt buckle out every 3 years on some of them. They don't last forever, because in that sky, it's not big enough for all the stars. But these small town stages where these young people get to go and perform, you never know what might happen.
That's true.
From them being able to be on that stage, because I know I love being on it. The feeling you get when you're performing in front of people on a live show is incredible. And so I just, you know, we all appreciate what you do. What, other than this, what do you do normally on a day-to-day basis, Jamie Harden?
I'm supposed to work at Harden Signs, but most of the time, that's what we own a sign company in town, and it's my dad, my brother, and I. And, we stay busy, and my dad's real good. He donates all the signs for the shows and stuff, and the backdrops and stuff. So that helps us. That saves a little money. And of course, Cliff here does all the irrigation here in Tullahoma. Cliff stays active. You know,
been
golf
busy
courses
in that business for years.
Yeah, about
everybody knows him over here. But you know, we enjoy this show so much too, because we can see how the audience enjoys it. The people that come to see the show. You talk about George Jones and the elders. You know, those type people though. they'll never duplicate those people's music, you know, in the 50s
No.
and 60s and country and rock and roll, and we try to keep that alive, and people remember that stuff, and they really appreciate it.
Well, you know, we play, when we're not on the air with the program on Charter Channel 6, we have a presentation that we run. It's a slide presentation with the Ultimate Oldies and South Jackson, but it's also an advertising. You know, you can buy an ad on it if you want to put Hardin Signs on there or Fuzz's Plumbing.
No, it's Robert's Irrigation.
I think Fuzzy Plumbing.
That sounds
Fuzz's
good.
Plumbing sounds
Yeah.
Robert's Irrigation on there. But we play 50s and 60s music on there. Every time we've tried to raise that up to 70s and 80s, the phone rings and where's that music?
Yep.
Where's my music? People love that era of music.
Well, we've ran into that too about trying to change the show up, and we thought we'd kind of get into 70s or 80s, and we thought, no.
They don't like it.
And there's parts of the 60s, if you go too far in the 60s, you lose people.
Right.
You get too psychedelic, you lose them.
Right.
But so far, people like what we do, and it's just a blast for us to do. And I know Cliff will speak for it. You know, it's a lot of fun. There's not a lot of money in it. It's just it's the fun and the reaction you get from the people. I think they really appreciate you doing it, and that's why we do it.
Well, we do. And when this is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center is not this weekend, but next weekend, and those dates are.
It's May 31st, and there's our poster there. It's May 31st and June 1st and June 2nd.
Times?
7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. And you can go to communityplayhouse.org or call South Jackson and get tickets.
Sure can.
And they're going quick. It's starting to fill up. So
good. Jamie?
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Cliff.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Fuzzy Plumbing. That's it right there.
Get him a T-shirt, mate.
Yeah. Folks, we'll be back after these messages.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
Hello, my name is Joe Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. I'm here to talk to you about a couple incentives that are going on between now and the end of the year. First is your federal tax credit up to $300. Secondly, 0% financing up to 15 months on XL products. Third, spring promotion up to $1,100. Finally, $500 incentives from your local power distributor. Please give us a call at 455-8757. Thank you.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
If you like HDTV, you're going to like what Charter's been up to. Adding so much free HD that Charter TV is a whole new experience. National Geographic HD, Animal Planet HD, Discovery HD, sports in HD, movies, news, kids programming. Plus, Charter now has thousands of free movies and shows in HD on demand anytime. You want to see more TV in HD? Try Charter. It's smarter.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now on the set. To my left is Emma Coleman, and of course you'll recognize Louis Baldwin for many, many years, 40 plus, I think.
40 plus.
40 plus has been the director of Tullahoma Daycare here in Tullahoma, and Louis just recently retired, I think, or going to retire. Is that
we
correct?
retired end of last month, the 30th, and we had a little retirement gig at Trinity Lutheran Church Sunday. So I'm still hanging out with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Okay. And I understand that you're going to be the new director. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. There's got to be, Louis, a lot of memories involved in that extended career there.
When I came in, graduated from MTSU in December, and my mother was the dietitian at the center, and the lady that had been before, the director before, she retired or quit or whatever, and they said, could I come in and stay for a couple, 3 months? Because I was an elementary teacher. I was supposed to be working at the Old West, and next thing you know, I was been there forever. I never did leave. And there's a lot of memories. We see a lot of kids, a lot of families. My wife and I, well, she, of course, Ann is a teacher with a high school in the choral department. And we just made our life around Tullahoma, the kids at Tullahoma, the young people, the children, the families.
So this is the only job really you've had as an adult?
Well, no. I was in the military for 4 years. I went to school on the GI Bill. I worked for a lineman for the telephone company. I was working out of Murfreesboro. They started building I-24, and they had those 90-foot poles. And we got on top of a 90-foot pole, and we had to do everything by hand. We were drilling. And I said, you know what? I can get the GI Bill and go to MTSU. So I went to MTSU to get off those 90-foot poles.
I don't blame you for that. I'm not one who likes heights.
We used to have to use the old cleats, and it was was just too high.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I said, I'll be a teacher. Can't get any worse.
Okay. 40 years ago, daycares were not that common, were they?
No, Tullahoma Daycare started out, it was originally almost like a Head Start. Head Start at the time was not serving the population that Tullahoma needed to serve. There were a core group of people from, I think it was First Baptist, Pastor Smith, First Methodist Church, or several people got together because in Tullahoma they had the Worth Bat, we had the overall factory, the glove factory, and sewing softballs. And these women were working, but Head Start, they weren't eligible, so they needed some place to put their children while these women worked. So that's the reason we were started, to go ahead and fill that void that Head Start wasn't carrying. It was basically the same children, families in need, low income, working moms, a lot of them were single parents, and so we kind of fit in that niche, and that's how we got started.
What sort of age group do you serve there?
We're 2.5 to 5 years. To
5 years, okay.
We were pre-K before pre-K.
Yeah.
We actually do the pre-K program. Most of our kids, when they go, we encourage them to go to kindergarten, which is pretty much. Some children stay with us rather than going to pre-K because pre-K is only half a day, and the mamas still have to work. And we're seeing more, not necessarily just mothers. We have single fathers. We have grandparents that have assumed responsibility for the children. We have some two-parent families on 2 incomes, but still it's the point that cost of living is so great. And it doesn't take much to throw your whole budget off course.
I think there's some video associated with this segment. Philip, if you're ready for that here, I don't want to get too far into this without video. Whenever you're ready, just put that up there, and I guess we'll talk about that. Emma, you've been there. Let's watch this video first of all. And this is, where is this taken from?
Trinity Lutheran Church.
Trinity Lutheran, okay. This is Louis' retirement, and there's the new director, Emma.
Wow. Older now, it's okay. We were just telling you how much we appreciate everybody's efforts, and just because I'm leaving doesn't mean that the center doesn't need your assistance. Miss Emma's still got the same problems, same financial situation that we've always been in. So we need your continued support. Emma needs your support. Fundraisers. I believe the board of directors is hoping to reinstitute the Iris Ball, and maybe the tour of homes and some things like that. That hopefully we can keep that going on. Just because I'm not there every day doesn't mean that my heart is not in the center.
And funding for this organization has always been challenging to you guys.
It really has. Funding has always been a major problem. It seems that all nonprofits now, It's hard. We lost Coffee County. We lost the county funding. All nonprofits lost county funding. We were cut back from some from the city funding. City still finances, still funds us. United Way, support United Way. We have churches in town that are also supporting us. We have several organizations, the Kiwanis Club in particular, that support us on a regular basis. So it's really a grassroots organization.
Right, exactly. And you obviously got into this just when you probably remember the time when women stayed home and took care of the children, but then we moved away from that, and now that's probably rare.
That's one of the hardest things to get across to some people, because they say, well, the women should be in the home with the kids. But if you can afford,
who can afford that?
Who can afford to do that anymore?
Yeah.
Right. Medical expenses, we have parents and things. It just takes one trip to the dentist to throw your budget completely out of whack.
Right.
And it used to be that if a parent missed work because of a sick child, then they would get demerits, and you may lose your job.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
We're there to support the family. We're a family support unit.
I'm about out of time here, but I wanted to, Emma, you've been with the center for how long now?
About 31 years.
Okay. 31 years. So we're not giving up a lot of experience here, folks, when we make this change. Well, Louis, thank you for all your service and all you've done, because I know that you guys at times have struggled to keep this alive and keep this going. And
it's a constant fight.
So. I don't know what you're going to do now, whatever Ann tells you to do, I assume.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still driving the bus.
Okay.
We're doing the bus. You'll see me on my yellow dog.
Okay.
And things like that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
Lots of luck. And 31 years kind of floors me. I'm sure that things will move along.
They will.
Louis, thank you so much. And
appreciate it. Thank you much.
We'll be right back in a moment, folks, with more living in just a moment.
You've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Click the links.
Oh, sweet Lisa, you're so fine, like a very fine wine. Girl, I need you in my life. Will you be my wife?
Charter Internet has more bandwidth to support all your devices. Experience the power of Charter on the nation's fastest internet.
Hello, folks. This past weekend, the Children's Art Show opened at the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center, and we had a great party up there Saturday afternoon. Had a lot of music and entertainment going on up there, plus all the art that the young people have created over the past, not all of it, but a lot of it. And it is going to be at the Art Center through June the 20th, and so you have an opportunity to go by there and look at it. The center is started summer hours, which is from 9 o'clock and until 2 o'clock, Tuesday through Thursday. So if you have a chance to go see that, go by and look at it. But if you don't, here's a sample right here. All right, this is the children's show now at the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center, and all of these projects are projects that have been done by young people who have visited the center, and it's incredible what's up here. Bird eggs and fish. I love that fish. And owls. Guitars. Kings and queens. There's a bathtub singing. Angels. Look at that. Isn't that unique? It has a real bubble.
She did them in my classroom. So, yeah.
Ice cream cone. Turkey. Here's the Sonic Cup. Oh. All of these things are done by young people as they visit the Art Center. So it's a great way to spend a day is come to the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center and see the young people, the Children's Art Show. There's President Lincoln. Birthday cake and ice cream cone. It is wonderful to look at all of this stuff, and it is it's fun for these kids to come over here, and there's scholarships for them if you have a child that you can't afford to be involved. There's scholarships available at the Fine Arts Center, and you can see it all right here. And look at that, and of course the refreshments are obviously youth-oriented. We're just proud to have all these folks here and all these marvelous young people participating in the arts in Tullahoma.
When you wake up
executive director. And she's the one that makes it happen with all these lovely young people. And we're mighty proud of her.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
The Charter Triple Play lets you experience TV, internet, and phone the way you want with no contracts. Hooked on HD? Now over 100 HD channels available. Movie lover? Get 10,000 on-demand movies and shows. 1,500 in HD, including movies in 3D. Missing your favorite shows? Record and watch TV with DVR service for 4 rooms and over 780 hours of storage space. Get Charter TV for $29.99 a month. Photo Fiend, Music Fan, Video Streamer? Switch to super fast Charter Internet and do it all with the bandwidth to support all your devices. At 30 megabits per second, Charter Internet is 10 times faster than the phone company's DSL. Get Charter Internet for $29.99 a month. Want more talk for less? Charter Phone has unlimited long-distance calling with no added fees like the phone company charges. Get Charter Phone for $29.99 a month. The new Charter Triple Play. TV, internet, and phone for just $29.99 a month each when bundled. Call 855-81-T-PLAY now.
All right, folks, this past weekend, the Distinguished Young Woman, is that right? That's right. Distinguished Young Woman Contest was held, and Bob Payne was there, and we have a little video, and then we're going to bring you the winners right after that.
Our Cumberland Valley second alternate will receive a $200 scholarship, and we are proud to announce the second alternate is contestant number 16, Heather Royden. Cumberland Valley's first alternate will be the recipient of a $500 scholarship. Our first alternate has an important role. If for any reason that one of our winners cannot compete for the title of Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman, then our first alternate will go in her place. Our first alternate is contestant number 12, Anna Gilbert. Then there were two. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the award for Cumberland Valley and Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Woman. Winner of the title of Cumberland Valley's Distinguished Young Woman, the $1,000 scholarship, and the opportunity to compete for Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman is contestant number 2, Courtney Miller. second winner, Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Woman, the winner of a $1,000 scholarship, will have the title, the scholarship award, and also the opportunity to compete for the title of Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman, is contestant number 6, Kayla Vance. Please join me in congratulating all.
We're back, and we are honored to have with us, as we go down the line, Cumberland Valley's Distinguished Young Woman, Miss Courtney Miller, Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Woman, Kayla Vance, first alternate, Anna Gilbert, and second alternate, Heather Royton. So, excited?
Yes, sir.
Very?
Yes.
Very excited. Have you been in this contest before?
No, sir.
Or is this only for juniors?
Yes, sir.
Only for juniors. And so, of course, we in Tullahoma have had some success in this contest before with Chandler Lawson, and then with Katie Brock ended up being the national Distinguished Young Woman. So big shoes to try to fill there. What was different in this contest compared to most beauty contests or that you've been in?
Well, we had interview in the morning, and then we actually had talent and different routines we had to learn and memorize for it.
So it's not just walk out with a pretty dress, turn around, and go back the other way. You have to put some other thought processes into this. What about it, Kayla? Did you enjoy participating?
Yeah, I did. It was really fun. We got to talk. It was different because you got to experience being with a lot of different girls, maybe not girls that you normally would have hung out with. It was just nice to make some new friends that you never would have.
Okay, and Anna, I know you've been up here before as part of the Miss Tullahoma, and did you enjoy this? What was the difference in those two? In those two contests?
Difference. You had to dance in the dress and heels, which I thought was hard. And you also, like she said, you met some of the greatest people that you didn't even, maybe hadn't met or just been around that much, and that was really cool. And I think the judges really got to know you in this pageant, where whenever Miss Tullahoma,
they did a little bit.
but not as intense, I guess.
Yeah. You know, and one of the things you said about dancing, I remember Betty Grable said people were talking about Fred Astaire, how wonderful a dancer he was and how he could make all the steps, and she said yes, but I made them all backwards in heels with him. So yeah, dancing like that is you think about it, it's pretty tough to do. And what about Heather? What'd you think, dear?
Oh, I loved it. I've never been in a pageant before, and this was a lot more than a pageant.
Yeah. It's a scholarship program.
It is a scholarship program. But I got to exercise and learn dances, and I learned interview skills, which I had nothing before this. So I had a great time.
So this was a little bit of a stretch for you outside of your normal comfort zone.
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, isn't that, like you say, isn't that wonderful to be able to have that experience? You know, a lot of people say, well, I just don't understand these girls getting in these dresses and going and doing these pageants, and it's all about that. But a lot of young ladies who participate do that for the experience, because that might be one of few opportunities they have to get up on stage. And if they get to make that choice, then they get to experience, just like you have all said, being with another group of girls and different folks, and going through the same kind of little stressful things, because is my hair right? Is my dress right? Do I remember my lines? Oh my God, do I remember, is that a right step or a left step? And it's a growing experience for you. How long did you have to do this, to prepare for it, and then be involved in the competition? Is it more than a day?
I thought it was like 2 months.
It was like
we started
after spring
practicing.
break.
Yeah.
It was a while.
So then y'all, you as a group got together
Yes.
And prepared.
On Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yep.
And
We
Sundays it was
practiced.
about 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that, and most people out there probably don't realize that.
Quite a lot of practice for it.
So good for you, good for all of you, and you have your senior year yet to come.
Yeah.
And what are you thinking about that?
I'm excited.
I
I'm
am
ready
too.
for
I
it.
can't wait.
Me too.
I am pretty excited.
Now, graduation is this weekend, but then do y'all still have another week of school after that? The juniors and
Yes.
sophomores and freshmen do.
It's pretty much just exams, but it's definitely another week.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, have any of you considered colleges yet? Have you turned your mind toward that yet?
A bit. Our English teacher's making us fill out college things, so yeah.
Doing that, and anything rise to the top of your list?
University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Okay, what about you, Kelly? thought
Not
that far
really
into it
yet.
yet?
Not that far ahead yet.
UTK.
Okay,
I'm thinking of UTK or Vanderbilt right now.
Whoa, Vandy. Yeah.
Vanderbilt,
Vandy.
UTK. Chattanooga, great place.
Yes, sir.
Good school. A lot of. I mean, I say that because that's where my son went, and it was. It's big enough, but it's not too big,
Right.
and they really take good care of their students down there.
And they got a nice downtown. They do.
Chattanooga has done a lot of work to upgrade
Yes.
what's happening down
Yes.
there, and it's clean and it's neat. What I thought was really cool about it is the bus system.
Wow.
You have your MOX card. You have your MOX card. You know, Jacob drove down there and parked his car. You never need your car because you can just walk to the bus with your MOX card and it's free because you're a student. And the buses are just, they're really neat buses and they're just circling all the time. So there's no sense in getting out of your parking space and driving downtown and trying to find one and pay for it when you can just hop a bus. And that's what a lot of those kids do, which is a wonderful service for students. So yeah, they're set up pretty good for all of that. Well, girls, thank you very much for coming and seeing us today. Congratulations in what you've accomplished. I know that all of you will represent us in Tullahoma just fine because you're great. It's a great looking bunch right here.
Thanks.
And we look forward to your further successes. We have another year to look after y'all and look at you and watch all the wonderful things that you do. And we're proud of you and we appreciate you very much.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
Good luck to all of you.
Thanks.
Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
It's time to celebrate. You don't have to drive to the city for your party supplies anymore. The Celebrate Party Store has opened at 1802 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma to service all your party needs. Over 300 varieties of balloons, party favors, gift wrap, boxes, bags, bows, plates, napkins, tablecloths, and cups of all colors. Catering supplies from utensils to serving dishes, Wilton cake decorating supplies, and chocolate melts. Wedding, baby shower, bachelorette party, and themed birthday party supplies from any sport to Hollywood. From a luau to Hello Kitty, Celebrate has it all. Hats, masks, patriotic decorations, piñatas, confetti cannons, and full-size celebrity cutouts, and a whole wall of greeting cards at 50% off. Celebrate is home-owned and operated by John and Karen Orr, who invite you to come in and see what they have. You won't believe your eyes because they have it all. Start your celebration at Celebrate, 1802 Suite 820, North Jackson Street, Tullahoma, 931-455-5550.
Charter Internet has the bandwidth to support more devices than anyone else in the market. So everyone can do their own thing, whether it's watching puppy videos or creating an all-powerful command center to mastermind the complete domination of the world, the universe, and... ooh, ice cream!
Get 30 megabits per second for only $30 and let it all in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Last Wednesday, police officers across Coffee County and actually across the nation and the state honored those officers who had died in the line of duty. And Chief Paul Blackwell sort of headed up the event here in Tullahoma. John Gray was there and brings us this video. Let's watch video from that memorial.
Everyone is getting a flower.
I don't know.
On behalf of the law enforcement officers of Coffee County, I'd like to welcome you to the 2013 Police Memorial Day ceremony. I want to say thank you to the law enforcement officers that serve this county every single day, selflessly, but also to the citizens of Coffee County. I thank you on behalf of all the officers for the support you give us and the trust that you place in us. And today, we're pleased to say that this is a combined effort between all three communities that are represented, the county, City of Manchester, and the City of Tullahoma. The history of Police Memorial Day. Back in 1962, President John F. Kennedy designated May 15th of each year as Police Memorial Day. And through a joint resolution of Congress, designated that entire calendar week as Police Memorial Week. Therefore, from Sunday through Saturday, the resolution set aside that officers that had fallen into line of duty should be recognized by their communities and be given respect, honor, and ceremonies to honor them. That is why we're here today, to recognize those that have fallen in the service to their community.
As we pause to remember these men's lives, it's important their significance is not the way they died, but the way they lived. Their lives mattered. Thank you for being here, and for the men and women in uniform, thank you for doing the work you do. We don't say it often enough, but we appreciate you. The individual that has been not an officer the longest, but has the longest tenure of service. Mr. Pegram, you may join me at the podium. Certificate of recognition presented to Edward R. Pegram on behalf of the 18,655 citizens at Tullahoma Home, and by the authority vested in me as Mayor of Tullahoma, I now therefore designate May 15, 2013, known as Peace Officers Memorial Day, to Edward R. Pegram, in honor of your service to the city of Tullahoma as a Tullahoma police officer from 1954 to 1956.
The law enforcement tribute is for the officers that have fallen in the line of duty. And in the program, you do have a short description of each of the 6 officers that you see up here to my left and how they did die in the line of duty. Chief of Police E.C. Armstrong, Tullahoma Police Department. Cause of death, gunfire. Police Officer Charles Holt, Tullahoma Police Department. Cause of death, gunfire. Also during that time, there was a state trooper, Trooper Lindsey Smith, was also shot that same day. Officer James Flippo, Tullahoma Police Department. Cause of death, gunfire. Deputy Ben McCullough. Officer Henry Travis, Tullahoma Police Department. Cause of death, automobile accident. Officer Clifford Riddle, Tullahoma Police Department. Cause of death, auto accident. If you would join me in a moment of silence for these 6 officers that have given the ultimate sacrifice. Unfortunately, these 6 officers, when they left their home, expected to come home that the end of their shift, and it did not happen. So to each and every one of us that wears a badge and serves our communities, that should be our number one. Come home to our families.
Yeah, that's the culinary ministers right there. Culinary ministry.
Yeah, I thought you'd take a picture.
Look at these guys. Policeman gonna eat. You can't use that.
Look around, the changes catch your eye, and you come to realize one can make a difference.
Since 1915, Kiwanis International has touched millions of lives. When you help one child, you help the world.
But one can make a difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the other night I was out at the Motlow, well, it's been a couple of weeks ago, the Motlow Spring Concert, and there was a young lady singing to a young man, and then a young man singing back to her, and I thought it was pretty funny and pretty interesting how this comes about. Let's go to Latte Boy.
Works at Starbucks, who is very inspirational. He is very inspirational because of many things. Come in at 8:11 and he smiles and says, "How are you?" When he smiles and says, "How are you?" I could swear my heart grows wings. So today at 8:11, I decided I should meet him. I decided I should meet him in a proper, formal way. So today at 8:11, as he smiled and said, "How are you?" I said, "Fine, and my name's Lisbeth." And he softly answered, "Hey." And I told him my name's Lisbeth, and thank you for the extra fun.
she has a crush on me. I can tell she has a crush on me. That's too big to ignore. She comes in here every morning at exactly 8:11. When the clock strikes 8:11, she comes walking through that door. Then one fateful Monday morning, as she made her usual entrance, I could tell that she was nervous and she had something to say. So I smoothly flipped the lever to prepare her double latte, and she told me her name's Elizabeth, and I simply answered, hey. And I told her my name's Taylor, and here's a little extra phone. When she left, I cleaned her table, and I found a folded napkin with this
Bring me down, love, bring me joy, oh Taylor, naughty boy. I love him.
So I should have got my nerve up and just said I wasn't interested. But since she was clearly interested, it all got out of hand. Because before I found her poem, we had this conversation where I told her I was playing in the village with my band. When I walked in Friday evening to her gig at Arthur's basement, I saw Elizabeth in the front row, and I heard her scream my name. Then my friend said, man, she's crazy. She's been here since 7:30, and she told me she's your girlfriend, and she's really glad she came. And when our gig was over, she followed me the whole way home. As I ran to try and lose her, I composed another version of her Elizabeth, the stalker chick. You're a psycho and you're sick. Elizabeth, the stalker chick. You scare me, you scare me, you scare me. I used to be the kind of guy who never was rude or doubting. But now I've got this lunatic freak in my life. Now every night at my window she's shouting, go home, girl, I'm not your toy. Taylor, the latte boy is calling the police. Many a girl has let me corner, but I never needed a restraining order. Elizabeth, come find me now. I'm transferring to a new Starbucks. There's 20 on each block, so good luck.
Here at the International Dateline, Charter scientists are bringing you tomorrow's technology today.
Good morning, Doctor.
Morning. Like the nation's most powerful internet and TV in HD with free DVR. Record your favorite shows to watch on your schedule, anytime in the future.
Good morning, Doctor.
Get a free DVR when you bundle and let it all in.
All right, we're back. And we're laughing as always, having a good time.
Yeah.
How can you not with this bunch?
Yeah, that's a fact. And you know what happens outside off camera is a lot of times more funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's funny. You know, and I was talking earlier about with Delana about the Girls of the Atomic City, and that is a book that has been written by a lady called Denise, by the name of Denise Kiernan, and it is about the women who were involved in the building of Oak Ridge.
Oh.
And one of those women was Jane Puckett, or is Jane Puckett, who lived in Tullahoma. She doesn't live in Tullahoma now; she's in a nursing home. And it was incredible what happened. And my grandfather and grandmother, everybody on a dirt farm who was farming and grubbing out a living when Oak Ridge opened up, everybody went to Oak Ridge. I mean, if you had to ride a mule to get there.
Yeah.
These young women were being paid $35 and $40 a week, and that was back in the early 40s.
Which is good money at that point.
Big money.
Yeah.
And they would go to one of them if they had, and they were all young, 18, 19, 20 years old, and they would find out what they knew in high school and what their math skills or something was, and they'd say, would you like a job making this money? Yes. Get on the bus tomorrow. Where am I going? I can't tell you. What am I going to do? I can't tell you. And they went and enriched uranium, which developed the first atomic bomb.
Wow.
And it's a great story. And what I did is I went to the book signing in Nashville, and we're going to take you there right now. And that'll be the last for us today. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Look for Delana. All right, I'm at Parnassus Books in Nashville, Tennessee, in Hillsborough Village, where there's going to be a book signing tonight about the Girls of Secret City, the ladies who built Oak Ridge. And we're going to go in and have a meeting with the author of the book in just a minute and get an interview at that point. And there's the book. And tonight there will be a lecture by Denise Kiernan, and she is the author of The Girls of Atomic City. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at Parnassus Books with Denise Kiernan, the author of The Girls of Atomic City. And Denise, what in the world sparked your interest to write this book?
It was actually a photo I saw that had been taken by Ed Westcott, who was the official photographer in Oak Ridge during World War II. And it was this beautiful photo of these young women sitting on stools in front of these gigantic panels with all these knobs and gauges and dials all over them. And I got really sucked into the photo, and then I read the text next to it that said these young women, many of them high school graduates, were enriching uranium for the world's first atomic bomb, only they didn't know that at the time. And that got me hooked on this story.
Well, I know my grandparents left Middle Tennessee, as a lot of people did, and headed to Oak Ridge when it was being built, and therefore I was born in Oak Ridge, and my mother and father worked in Oak Ridge, and a lot of babies came out of Oak Ridge. A lot of babies came out of Oak Ridge, and you followed this story through. I know Jane Puckett is one of your characters in this story, who lived in Tullahoma, and was a wonderful lady. And just what all did you find out about these women and the sacrifices they made and the things that they achieved?
I was mostly fascinated by their willingness to really kind of go off on this incredible adventure, to go somewhere they knew really nothing about, to do jobs they knew pretty much nothing about. And what made them go really was their commitment to the great cause of the moment, which of course was World War II. And many of the women had relatives, brothers, many of them, who were off fighting, and doing their part for the war was very, very important to them. But still, I think the idea of like getting on a bus or getting on a train and going somewhere you knew nothing about is pretty adventurous. And when you think about the fact that it was 1942, 43, I think it makes it even all the more so.
And how has this book been received?
It hit the New York Times bestseller list, so we're very happy about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And what's really been wonderful is getting all of these notes, and I haven't even had a chance to go through them all. There are hundreds from people who say, you know, my parents worked there, my grandparents worked there, I have this story here, have you heard about this here? And just just this really interesting outpouring of information from other people who lived and worked on the Manhattan Project during World War II.
Well, congratulations with what you've done and the great success you're having with this book that is so dear and near to a lot of us here in Tennessee, because we were involved as well. We appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for doing what you did and being such a great part of such a wonderful story.
All right. And this is Denise preparing to do her presentation to a big crowd at Parnassus Books. And this is in Hillsborough Village. And there's the folks who've come tonight to hear about the girls at Atomic City. And so it's some of our own who are involved in this book and involved in the Manhattan Project. So we're looking forward to the presentation.